The old red Strat, you know, everybody wants to be Eric Clapton, don't they? Or do they? Or do they? Well, I did a video on this guitar 2 months ago and it's still here. And I've lowered the price to $80 for this. That's insane. It's clean, it's nice. Yes, it's not quite accurate Strat design, but they're not trying to. It's a legal reproduction of a Strat style guitar. It's got a really nice maple board, and it's quite well made. It's made by the Monoprice company, and this is one of their older California Strats. They've now replaced them with the Indio brand of guitars, which I featured in another video. But this video today is not about particularly this guitar. It's called Guitars That Hang Around. Now, you know, 95% of what I do goes out the window fast. I post videos on ukuleles, guitars, and you'll notice I'm posting about 3 to 4 a week. And it's always new and different stuff. And you're thinking, well, how many does he have lying around? Well, they go. They sell. They often sell after the video or even before I put the video up. I price to sell. I undercut. I check all markets before listing something. I try to be competitive. But I also put a disclaimer in all my ads that this has been hallelujah setup. I've gone through it, I've set the action, I've done the intonation, I've done extensive fretwork. I often have to do either a single fret leveling or a whole fret level, and definitely the fret end beveling as well on just about everything that I get in with frets. And then it's better than buying from a factory. So if you can get this for, say, $99.99 at Amazon, it's better buying from me, because when you get it drop shipped from a factory, a lot of times you're going to have to take it to a shop and get it set up. You're going to have to get these issues taken care of. And I don't know a shop that does a basic guitar setup for under $50, $55. My friend charges $55 at his shop. And that's just for a basic guitar setup. So you got to add that to anything that you buy online, unless you can do your own setups, which is what I'm, really advocating on this site. So why do things like this hang around? Everything else sells within days or a week or 2 weeks of getting it, but every once in a while you get something that just sticks around for a long time. Now this particular guitar has a little bit of a backstory to it, in that I've pretty much had it sold 3 times, and the person that is supposed to come and buy it didn't show up. No contact, no courtesy message, no sorry I can't make it, or I changed my mind, or I bought something else. Just didn't show up, and left me hanging, three times. So I decided to knock it down to $80 to see if it will move. It's worth more than that. It's worth a lot more than that in the condition it's in. But I have space at a premium here, and I can only house so many guitars. I do all this out of my own house. I live in a small 3-bedroom house, so I have to watch the space, and I don't keep guitars in my garage. I keep them in my studio or in a little supply room, small supply cupboard that I have, and also my sales rack in the front room. So when I get guitars that are spilling out of that space, I got to move something. I've got to get rid of something. And this is a case in point. Now there are some times where you know why something's sticking around. It's something I pick up at a flea market or something. It needs some work. It's not particularly an established brand. It's not a guitar that's particularly desirable or in vogue, or it's not really a guitar that's got any particularly interesting features, very plain. Sometimes those hang around for a while. But there are some that you think to yourself, why doesn't anybody want this? I mean, to get a clean, no chips, no issues, no cracks, good, well-made Strat style guitar with decent pickups, a really nice maple board. You could certainly mod this. You could certainly soup up the parts, add your favorite pickups, change the pickguard to black, whatever you want to do. But to get this under $100, with a setup ready to play, I don't understand why it's still here. And every once in a while you'll get something like this, and you know, you can't really fathom why that's the case. You know, I've got a couple of solid Sitka and Engelmann top acoustic guitars that I'm selling between 160 and 180. That's an absolute steal. Those should be out the door the day I list them. If you go to a guitar shop, you can't touch a select spruce top, solid top guitar that's set up and in mint condition with a gig bag for under $300 or $400. You can't touch it. So to get one in, you know, in sort of new showroom quality for less than 200, around 150, 160, 180, you know, is, if you know your stuff, that's a bargain. But sometimes they hang around, and it just takes a while until they find a home, and you scratch your head. You're thinking, you know, this is a no-brainer. If I was looking for a starter guitar, even if I was, you know, an intermediate player, and I wanted to step up a guitar from the plywood piece of crap that I'm playing, you know, something of that ilk, no matter what it says on the headstock, you know, for that kind of money is, you know, a complete no-brainer. But, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions in this field and industry, and people are obsessed with what's on the headstock. They're obsessed with where it's made. As soon as you tell them it's made in China or Asia, they, you know, a lot of times they want to move on. They don't understand that even the top brands, most of them are made in Asia, and if you want, you know, American-made guitar, you're going to be paying in the thousands, not the hundreds. So, you know, you got to fight your way through the brambles of naivety, if you like, with people, particularly people new to the instrument or just starting. And sometimes things just take a while to find a home. And I try to be patient, because this is a really nice Strat style guitar, and some kid, you know, that's, you know, an aspiring YouTube shredder, and there are thousands of them now, and they annoy the crap out of me, because in 6 months they're playing sort of like Yngwie Malmsteen riffs, you know, at 500 miles an hour, and I've been playing for 30, 40 years, and I still can't do that. But anyway, this would be a great guitar for someone like that. And you know, if they spent $100 buying one off a catalog or on eBay, they would not get something this well set up. They wouldn't get something this smooth, and they certainly wouldn't get something this clean. I mean, every time I buy anything around $100, particularly electric guitars, from these sources, particularly eBay and Reverb, they're always dinged up. I mean, I always find chips and dings and cracks and just little imperfections, you know, because people, you know, bash them around. This one is absolutely clean all the way around. It's you know, it's not brand new. It's used, but it wasn't played. I mean, somebody bought it and just didn't play it, and the only imperfections I can see are a little bit of dirt on the white pickguard that could be wiped off. But anyway, this is just a video for people buying and selling guitars. If you're selling guitars and it takes a while, be patient. They will find a home. And if you're looking for guitars, you know, consider brands that you don't know. And also, if somebody can offer something to you that's relatively well set up, plays really well, that's worth $55 at least of setup in a shop. So yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. Guitars that stick around. I wonder how long this will last before somebody snaps it up. I just relisted it on all my listings for $80 cash. That's a bargain. So probably it'll be off my rack here in the next few days and find a good home. See you next time.